Hi everyone and welcome back. So we are already talking about web development bootcamp, and in the last videos we talked about the HTML a lot, like how to work with HTML element, HTML tags, and also some examples, some demo examples in which we created some designs and also try to beautify the designs. Now in this video we are going to talk about a simple thing which is more about Chrome Dev Tools. This is something which every developer uses, I think, 24/7 if he's doing a web development. And how to open this simple Chrome development tool is it's very handy also. What you do is most of the time you go to this, create, right click onto your stuff, and then here I will show you how to do it. Right click and inspect, and it will open up this Chrome Dev tool for you. And what is Chrome Dev tool? It is like a developer utility tools that helps you to see and look around everything which you see, right? So this is a Chrome Dev tool, and you can see all the things, element, source, network, and all the things like application, memory, performance, network. So what is actually development tool? It is going to help you to debug, to see things about your web development, right? You can actually enable your global settings from here. What you can do is you can enable global settings. So if I click onto this, first of all, you can just right click and you can open it, and then from here these are like global settings which you can see for your dev tool on this Chrome. So this dev tool is actually a part of your Chrome browser, and it really helpful when you are doing web development, inspecting or debugging anything, debugging JavaScript, inspecting the styles for the HTML you have created. So this is my current workspace. All the devices that it supports, like you can change the viewport size to all these devices, location if that is enabled. Okay, now if you try to see, you can inspect anything, like this is like marker. You can inspect anything and it will give you the highlighted section of HTML, and from right hand section you can actually see everything about the styles which are beautifying our HTML, right? The layout, first of all, like if I just selected this particular browser box or this body, right? So you can see this is the computed layout, margin. This is actually the CSS box where it is giving you the width and height, padding, border, margin and position, because on the top you see the inside element is the container. That container will have padding, right? Then after padding it comes a border, so it's like a CSS box also comes in the same way. First is the container height and width, then it takes your padding, then border, and then margin, and then the position, like okay, fixed, absolute and all. Layouts we have, then event listener. You wanted to attach an event listener to this DOM node because it's HTML node, and you can attach event listener. All the properties which are added to this HTML node, because this is the tag, right? If you see tag is div, so what all you can attach, DOM breakpoint, accessibility, all those things. I mean, like area attribute needs to be there and all sort of things you can set as accessibility. Okay, and these are like, okay, you wanted to see this profile on the mobile device, then here you can check. So sometimes we build a responsive web app and we wanted to check how my website looks like in the different devices, right? In this particular case you can switch to like small, medium, large screen. This is how it look like in the iPhone or little bit bigger phones, right? And you can just disable it. So that is what checks your responsiveness of your web app, right? There are many other things you can do on this console. I mean, there is like a separate courses people prepare for just learning how to work with the Chrome Dev Tools, because it can do lots of things. Not just okay, you just check the console and just you can select, like if I want to preserve the logs, which log level you wanted to see, debug warn, and all sort of logs are here. So this is the default level is not set, so you will see all the kind of warnings, info messages and all. This is the source code, I mean, on which we are looking. Currently I'm not running a my own app. I'm just running a simple Scrimba page, and these are the network calls. So when you reload the page, what all things are happening? There are XHR and fetch requests are going. You can see this is XHR. This is the AJAX request being sent to the Stripe. You can see it is sending to this, and there is some response GUID, MID, SID. Okay, and then this is the me profile. Okay, give me my own profile. What is the URL? Scrimba.com me. So I think you might be sending some cookies to know. Here we are sending cookies. You might not be familiar what is cookies, what is local storage, what is session storage. That also we will talk about. So this is all about how you can inspect the network. Let's say when I reload the page, something is failing, right? So how we can debug it? You will check each and every API call if those are successful. Let's say get profile by ID. If this is not fair success, then your application won't work. So in the network, we see lots of things. So all the network means all the files we are downloading from the network: JavaScript, CSS, font families, document, any kind of a WebSocket communications, any media file, any images. All those will be coming through the network. You can see this I am downloading from, if you see, this is the URL scrimba.com assets. So all these are network HTTP calls, and there are some XHR calls which is giving you the data XHR, right? So you can see these are the JavaScript requests which are fetching the JavaScript files. XHR is actually the REST API calls which you are making using fetch APIs from the browser, from the JavaScript client side. These are the API calls, you can say. Then we have media files, no media files, CSS files, font files. All these are inside your network tab. To track down all the outgoing requests, these are all outgoing requests which are being sent. And then JavaScript files which we are downloading from the server. So when you hit this page, you are downloading all these files from the server. Then CSS file, I think CSS file is local. Then font, document, and all those things you can capture. So network tool is really very powerful, and we can do beyond what you have thought till now. So console.log, it will give you all type of console like error, warn, info, all these kind of a log. So we will get a clear picture what is going on. Okay, so here you can see the network tab and source tab. This is the place where you will see your code, your JavaScript code. What we can do is we can run a simple HTML, CSS, JavaScript app, and we will see the source, console, and the network tab, and also local storage, cookie storage, and all the application level storage. So here you can see these are all storage. These are the background services. Comes under application. The lighthouse we can use to generate a report, performance report of your website. So this is a very simple example. We have index.html, which I will just format, and here we are going to use a live server, and I will just right click onto this page and open with live server, right? So this is what it is going to do is it is going to give me the browser with this outcome, right? So now we can inspect, we can just play with the dev tools to see. Now you can see I can inspect I can see the whole source code, right? This is where you will see the source. This is my project. Okay, here we can inspect the whole source code. We can inspect the individual element also. Okay, what is the color? So this is my container, this is my body is, and then this is inside a container. Container has a margin 0 auto, and it's a CSS grid. Actually inside CSS grid we have divided a CSS grid into these header, navigation, footer, and sidebar sections, right? So here you can see I have header, and this new section is in the left, and it's occupying grid column 1, and it's a grid column 2, then the right side is a grid column 3. This may be a little bit advanced how we style this whole section, But what I'm going to talk about is how we are using Chrome DevTools, right? There is no error, there is no info. Currently, if I just reload it, it is just downloading this index.html document, right? Currently, we don't have any CSS files. If you want to have something in the CSS, then you can include it on the top. So this is index.css. We have some stylings also. So let's try to see what all we are downloading. So when you click onto this, we can see, I mean, these additional files are coming from the Chrome extensions, Chrome plugins. But here you can see I am downloading index.css. It's coming through the network call index.js, index.css, and index.html. And you can also see the content type and what we are downloading. So from the network call, here you can see only JS, only JavaScript files, only images, all the files, XHR request, font, document, and all. And this is, you can see, this is for the performance monitoring. Let's say you wanted to test the performance of this particular page. Inside application, you will see the local storage, session storage, and cookie storage. These three storages are very important, and we need to understand when to use what. Okay, local storage is on the memory of the browser. So you can actually create a key value pair, hello world. And this local storage, hello is the key and the value is world. Until unless you don't remove them here, it will always be here. This is the local storage, and this local storage data is available across different websites, right? That's why we don't put really important things on the local storage. Session storage is there, like when you close the tab or close the browser, this session storage just vanishes. That's only for the tiny session. Then we have the cookies. Cookies are always meant to share between client and server. There are server side only cookies are also there, but these cookies are actually tiny bits of data which will be returned from the server, and later on whenever you are sending any request to the server, these cookies will go with it. I will talk in advance about cookies, session storage, and local storage, but for now you can understand that we can store something using cookies, sessions, and local, because there will be a separate video talking about these APIs. Here we are talking about the Chrome DevTools, right? Here you can do a lighthouse and analyze the performance, lighthouse page reload. Now because this page is hosted on localhost, you can just play with this lighthouse and it will just give you how your page performance is. It can be any web application which you are loading with that, and here you can see the whole overall report, the accessibility, the performance, best practices, SEO, and all. Currently it's just like a dummy HTML file, right? It's nothing, so we are not expecting much from this. But you can see all the tags does not have, this is the particular HTML tag which we need to have, the meta tag, meta name viewport with width and height. So, and here I think back and forward, pending browser support, post audits, accessibility is not there. We are not using background forward, foreground color. Document doesn't have a title, really important, and HTML doesn't have a lang property, right? So here you can see in the index.html you don't have a lang, en, and we don't have a title on the head. I mean, these are very basics which you obviously should have. I was just showing you just a simple demo, so I didn't put all those things. So you can improve your web page by using this audit. So this is all about Chrome DevTool part 1. In the part 2 we are going to talk about a lot of things. We will also include a JavaScript. We'll use the JavaScript debugging tool, and we will also use this workspace, and we will see how we can inspect and how we can see the styles, how we can play with these and all. Like if I can change here, I can play with the styles and all. Yellow color, I can change this grid. I can even play with the styles, like okay, I want to change this color to something else, right? All those things are possible with the Chrome DevTools.